Paulisinge.
Mininge.
Manchiamiuvik.
Manchuamiu galwaksunga. Sallumiu viniuvunga.
Can you catch the although in policy's second word?
Manchuamiungu galwaksunga. Manchuamiungu galwaksunga.
As well as that galwak, did you get the continuous ending sunga that connects the word to the rest of the sentence?
Manchuamiungu galwaksunga. Manchuamiungu galwaksunga. Manchuamiok. Manchuamiungu yunga. Manchuamiungu tsunga. Manchuamiungu galwaksunga.
And then you caught the chunk that labeled him as a former Sallumiok.
Sallumiu viniuvunga. Sallumiu viniuvunga.
Now, today's dialogue.
Sumo katalaukit.
Sivullimi asiutsunga.
Tukisivunga. Asiuik nimitilutit.
Teema hangatayok oksuerami katalilaukto.
Uksuirami.
Asugok oksigegiamik puyortualunnikama.
Roger, timiyok tiuyagunnehutit.
Hangatayok tiuyagunnehunga.
Timiyok tiugunnehutit. Timiyok tiviniuvutit.
Hangatayok tiviniuvunga.
Igitaugavit.
Asu.
A new word, a few old words, and a couple of new chunks.
Sumut. Katatok. Katalauktok. Katalaukit.
Sivullimi asiutsunga.
The use of the ending sunga indicates, as usual, a connection with the rest of the sentence. Now, watch the first part of the skit again.
Sumo katalaukit.
Sivullimi asiutsunga.
Tukisivunga. Asiuik nimitilutit.
There are a couple of extra chunks in the last word there. We won't attempt to examine it exhaustively here, but it is interesting to see how much information gets crammed in.
Asiuyutit. Asiulauktutit. Asiugirmiyutit. Asiugimitilutit. Asiugirmitilutit.
Of the various chunks that have slid in there, mi, the one that means to or also, is the most common. Here it is used typically with a becausative ending.
Mick, karama.
Gamigama.
Ihalukturumagama.
Ihalukturumamigama.
Ako Mick. Mamauna. Tuttuvinitturumagama.
Tuttuvinitturumamigama.
Ako Mick. Mamaktuk. Kapiturumagama.
Kapiturumamigama. Kumig.
Ako Mick. Ila, kinayahangin na mali.
Kino ya hangimi yunga.
That last phrase is worth a second look. Here is the word for face.
Kinak. Kinak.
And here is the word for something like a face. In other words, a coin or money in general.
Kinoyak. Kinoyak.
Notice how policy says, but I don't have any money.
Kino ya hangina mali. Kino ya hangina mali.
Notice how Minnie says, I don't have any too.
Kinoya hangimigama. Kinoya hangimigama.
It's time to straighten out the three forms for because I. Gama, Rama, and Nama. Let's do it backwards. Use Nama after negatives, after the negative chunk ngit.
Tukisityangin nama.
Kino ya hangina ma.
Use Rama after stems that end in Q.
Imirama.
Aulagama.
Kino ya harama.
Use Gama after everything else.
Tukisigama.
Tikigama.
Pisugama.
You should really practice this. We'll do it this way. Policy will make a statement. There will be a pause for you to put in the becausative version, and then Minnie will come in with the correct answer. Now, to do this with ease and grace, you will need to remember which verb stems end in Q and which don't. So, we'll play a little game. Minnie or Policy will say a word. You decide, from what you've already learned, whether or not the verb root in that word ends in Q or something else. The screen will show you the correct answer. Remember that subtleties such as the deletion or the law of double consonants may confuse the issue.
Utiktok.
Sininniatok.
Nirityangilanga.
Aulatutit.
Uhalangavit.
Now we hit the becausatives. As soon as Policy makes the statement, you give the becausative version with Gama, Rama, or Nama.
Anibunga.
Anigama. Anigama.
Itikpunga.
Itirama. Itirama.
Aulapunga.
Aulagama. Aulagama.
Aningitunga.
Aninginama. Aninginama.
Because I leave is Audlarama. Because you leave is Audlarabit. But because she, he, or it leaves can be either Audlarame or Audlaman, depending on some fairly complex grammatical relationships in the sentence. The screen gives some indication of what those relationships are. We won't go into it here, but if you're consumed by curiosity, and of course you should be, there is a deeper explanation in the booklet that goes with the course.
Utirama. Utirama. Utiravit. Utiravit. Utirame. Utirame. Utikmat. Utikmat.
Anyway, in this dialogue, a plane has fallen and it fell because it ran out of gas.
Uqsuq. Uqsuirami. Uqsuirami.
Taima, by the way, is an expression that translates here roughly as, well, no, So the next section of our dialogue unfolds again.
Sumo katalaukhin.
Sivullimi asiutsunga.
Tukisivunga. Asiuik nimitilluttit.
Teema hangattajoq oqsuerami katalilaaqtoq.
Uksuirami.
We're going to put the next sentence on the screen while we discuss it. Asuroq is another expression used by Roger under pressure. Think of it as meaning roughly, but you see, oxygiareamic is indeed a complex expression. We won't analyze it. It simply means fueling. Puigoktualu is also complex, but it has a very productive structure, so we'll spend some time on it.
Puigoktunga. Puigoktunga. Puigoktualovunga. Puigoktualovunga.
Let's see this tualu in action.
Kapi.
Kattualovunga.
Kinaw yakatjangillati.
Kinaujakngitualovunga.
Here is the way the two key words are built up.
Kapunga. Kapunga. Kattualuvunga. Kattualuvunga. Kinaujakangilanga. Kinaujakangilanga. Kinaujakangitualuyunga. Kinaujakangitualuyunga.
Try that. You give the same emphatic statements that policy just made as answers when Minnie asks you first if you're hungry and then if you have no money.
Kappi.
Kattualuvunga.
Kinaujakangillati.
Kinaujakangitualuyunga.
Back to forgetfulness. Be sure to appreciate fully the dimension added by vinak in the last example.
Puigoktunga. Puigoktualovunga. Puigorama. Puigoktualogama. Puigoktualoviniugama.
Meanwhile, back to the dialogue.
Hangattajoq oqsuerami katalilaaqtoq.
Uksuirami.
Asugo oksigagiami puiqtuvinialugama.
Take an action word. If it ends in a vowel, add yi. Now you have the person who performs that action.
Ilinnialirta. Ilinnialirta.
Sanayuyunga. Sanayuyunga.
It is with great pleasure, at this point in time, that I announce my pleasure at being asked to attend the 32nd Annual Congress of Arctic Sanitation Engineers in my favorite community of Tutulik.
Hubiasituro tamani gamit. Tusayuyunga. Tusayuyunga.
Ilinnialirta. Ilinnialirta.
Inuktitut. Inuktitut.
A. I.
Ilinnialirta. Ilinnialirta.
If the action word ends in a consonant, add T. But remember that even though the law of double consonants may remove that final consonant in the verb stem, its effect lingers on, as in adlati.
Allatiyunga. Allatiyunga.
Ilinnialirta. Ilinnialirta. Anniasiortiujunga. Anniasiortiujunga.
Anniasiutiyunga. Anniasiutiyunga.
Hangattayoktiuyunga. Hangattayoktiuyunga.
Timmiyuktiyunga. Timmiyuktiyunga.
Let's expand for a moment.
Timmiyuqti. Timmiyuqtuq. Timmiyuqtut. Ikayuqti. Timmiyuqtunut. Ikayuqti.
Notice how the phrases are built up. The same logic applies to both dialects based on two different verb roots.
Hangattayokti. Hangattayoktok. Hangattayoktut. Hangattayoktunut. Ikayokti.
Just as a former caribou is a tuttuvinek, so a former interpreter is a tusayivinek, and an ex-pilot is either a kangatayoktivinek or a timmiyoktivinek. And how does Roger become a former pilot? He's fired. Avitoyok, igitoyok.
Avitauunga.
Igitawuti.
Ayun naman.
We're nearly there, but there's one last chunk to deal with. Well, why not make two chunks? First,
Inuktitut tukisigunnaqit.
Inuktitut allagunnaqit.
Inuktitut uqaqunnaqit.
then, similar in behavior but different in meaning,
Isumagunnaqit.
Allagunnaqit.
Uqaqunnaqit.
so the final portion of dialogue goes like this.
Roger, Inuktitut.
Hangattayortiujagunneehunga.
Inuktitut Inuttitut.
Hangattayortiviniuvunga.
Igitaugavit.
Asu.
While the final moments of this lesson flow past, try these drills. The first one is a pyramid drill. This is what you're going to say at the end of the drill.
Manchuamiungugaluaqsunga sallumiuviniuvunga.
We're going to get you there bit by bit. Repeat after policy.
Manchuamioq. Manchuamiunguyunga. Manchuamiungutsunga. Manchuamiungugaluaqsunga.
That was the first word. Now the second one.
Salluit. Salluit. Sallumioq. Sallumioq. Sallumiuvinaq. Sallumiuvinaq. Sallumiuviniuvunga. Sallumiuviniuvunga.
Okay, we've got the first word and the second word, and now the two words together.
Manchuamiungugaluaqsunga sallumiuviniuvunga. Manchuamiungugaluaqsunga sallumiuviniuvunga.
Now a pyramid drill with Minnie, leading to
Kiinoyahangimigama.
here we go.
Kiinak. Kiinak. Kiinoyak. Kiinoyak. Kiinoyahagama. Kiinoyahagama. Kiinoyahanginama. Kiinoyahanginama. Kiinoyahangimigama. Kiinoyahangimigama.
Turn these verbs into nouns by adding yi to vowel endings and ti to consonant endings. Samples?
Iliseyunga. Iliseyi.
Niuvaqtunga. Niuvaqti.
Away we go.
Tusayunga. Tusayi.
Illuleriyunga. Illuleriyi.
Allatunga. Allati.
Ilinniatunga. Ilinniati.
Ask, can you do it? Like this.
Inuktitut tukisivit. Inuktitut tukisigunnaqit.
Inuktitut allaqit. Inuktitut allagunnaqit.
Inuktitut uhaqqit. Inuktitut uhagunnaqit.
Inuktitut isumapit. Inuktitut isumagunnaqit.
That's the end of lesson number 6. And as you know, we've still got that booklet available. It gives a lot more information that's on this program, and here's how you get it. In the next program, we're going to tell you how to order people around and how to be specific.
Takulai mo.